I get messages from people who say they've got teenagers or early adults who are looking for opportunities, but they don't have a degree and they want to be able to move to a country like the United Kingdom. We also have adults who they got skills in plumbing, they're electricians, they know how to make roofing sheets, they are barbers, they're in Cyprus, they're in Turkey, they're looking for opportunities to move to the UK. This video is for you. Hello folks, this is your one and only Waka Waka Doctor. Always bring you the best gist when it comes to travel and migration. You know how we do it on this channel. All we do is share information that has to do with living, working, moving abroad. So long as it has to do with abroad, this is where you want to be. For those who have always watched me and send in their testimonials, I want to say thank you. If this is the first time of you coming across my channel, you know what to do. Turn on the notification bells, make sure you subscribe and share this video to as many people as possible. You will not regret it. Two quick things that I usually pass in all my videos is to say, number one, I'm not on Telegram, I am not on WhatsApp. If you do get a message in the comment section saying that you should text them on Telegram or WhatsApp, it is not me. Number two is that a while ago, I wrote a book titled Move Abroad by Force. The idea behind this book is to be able to help you process your travel on your own without the use of any agent. If you want to acquire this book, it's very affordable. The link is in the description box of this video. People also ask, how can we reach out to you, Waka Waka Doctor? How can we get to talk to you? The link or access is in the description box of this video. Now let's get to the gist of this video. Now, a lot of people would always say that they've got people in their teens. They've got kids, they've got friends, they've got family members in their teens. They've got early adults who are looking for opportunities in the United Kingdom. They're not quite people who have degrees, they're not bankers, they're not doctors, they're not surgeons, they're not teachers. They're people who just got, this blue collar skills, or what you want to call it. They are tailors, they are barbers, they are construction workers, they are plumbers. Those are the things they know how to do, just hand skills, okay? And they want to move to the country like the United Kingdom. Or you've got people in different countries and they're looking to move to the United Kingdom, but they don't have a degree, they've just got skills. This video is going to help these two classes of people. And as always, I've got a friend, a male friend this time, is a very fantastic life coach and someone who motivates me myself, someone who has helped thousands of people move to the United Kingdom, someone who I have no accolades for this guy. He's just extraordinary. And pay attention to every detail he's going to share with you in this video because you're not going to want to miss it. Quickly, let me bring in my guest. Thank you very much for joining. Do you want to share your name and introduce yourself to my community?
Okay, I am Toyyib Adelodun. I'm a civil engineer and also a life coach. I've lived in the UK for about 16 years now. How did I find out about apprenticeship? I was fortunate. I went back to university at around 30 years old. And I noticed that there were some younger students in my class. They were teenagers, 18, 19. So when I sat with them and I asked them what kind of scheme, like how were they in school? And then they told me that they're actually in school through the apprenticeship scheme. So the apprenticeship scheme is quite different from what we know back home in Africa. The apprenticeship scheme is a scheme whereby a teenager, let's say from the age of 16, can get into higher education, and that higher education will be funded by the company. So all these big companies, Balfour Beatty, Lion of Rock, NHS, like all of these companies, they have apprenticeship schemes that is out there every year. So for example, there's apprenticeship for level 2, which is equivalent of GCSEs. There's apprenticeship for level 3, which is equivalent of the A levels. And then you have apprenticeship for level 4, which goes to like higher national certificate or OND. And then you have apprenticeship of like level 6 and level 7, which is like degree and masters. So companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers, for example, they may have a degree apprenticeship that they will put out and say accountancy degree apprenticeship. So their requirements will mainly be like GCSE and A levels. And once you apply for that kind of apprenticeship and you are selected, the company pays your school fees. You'll be working like 4 days a week. You'll be earning salary while working with them. And then you'll be going to school like 1 day a week, getting your qualifications. So by the time you spend like 4 or 5 years with them, you already have a degree in that program because it will be tied to a university. So those that were in my school then, they were coming to London South Bank University and they were studying civil engineering, but they were also working on site for their respective construction companies. So you kind of like, you have a balance of both worlds in the sense that you are able to study and you are also able to earn. I mean, you get the balance of 3 worlds, to be fair. You are able to study, you are able to earn, and you are also able to get work experience by working with people in the field. So like I said, there is level 2, there's level 3, there's level 4, there's level 5 and 6, up to level 7. All these companies have it. So a lot of us have moved here with our young siblings. You know, we've come here to work, we've got skilled worker visa, we've got all of these visas, and we've got children that are approaching that teenage years. It's always good for us to look out for these opportunities and say, okay, you don't necessarily have to go to school and get huge student loan, £9,000 a year for 3 years, and then you have a £27,000 loan that you have to pay whilst you're working. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can get experience whilst you are, whilst you are studying as well, and just have a blessing of the both. And the company also pays your tuition fees. So you're going to come out with an experience, a working experience of like 5 years. You're going to have studied for 5 years, you'll have gotten your degree, and at the same time, you don't owe anybody anything. And for a lot of us that work in the industry, you see that employers are always keen to take in people that have got some experience. So people that go through apprenticeship are always favored by employers. We don't make the rules, but that's exactly how it is. So how do you get into apprenticeship? You want to ask. The first thing is to be on the lookout. You don't want it to be that it is when you want it, that's when you now start preparing for it. Start preparing for it now. If you have a child that is a teenager, start looking out. Every year, there is always a National Apprenticeship Week that happens every year. Keep on the lookout for that. You see a lot of companies, some of them even do like open days where they will tell you to come to their company and see the way they do it. And you can get a lot of information from then on. So National Apprenticeship Week is a good one. The gov.uk website has loads of apprenticeship. Just go on Google, put gov.uk apprenticeship. You see how to get into apprenticeship, the companies that are doing apprenticeship, you see loads of them. And then also you can just put on Google civil engineering apprenticeship. You see a lot of companies that do apprenticeship there as well. So what you want to do is to support these young siblings, these young children, because some of them have no idea. So have a sit down with them, have a talk with them and say, this is an option that is available. There are civil engineering apprenticeships, there are IT apprenticeships, there is even a recently approved medicine apprenticeship. So very soon, in the next couple of years, you will be able to do medicine as an apprenticeship as well in the UK. So I want us to take full advantage of this, get as much information as possible so that we can support our young ones that we brought here into the UK to live with us. And some people ask this big question to say, what are the main requirements? The main requirement for a lot of apprenticeship is based on whatever existing qualifications you have. Like I said, the level 2 apprenticeship is equivalent of GCSEs. The level 3 is equivalent of A level. So for that level 3, they will ask you for your GCSE. So if you are going up to say level 4, they will ask you probably for your A levels or your B Tech. And there is also, for the most that I've also seen a residency requirement, which is that child must have stayed in the UK for around 3 years for them to be qualified as a resident to go through that apprenticeship. So that's just a summary of it all, but it boils down to us doing a lot of research from the beginning before we even start. So if your child is going to be 16 next year, or 17 next year, or 18 next year, the time is now for you to be well aware of the companies. I mean, to first of all, even have that discussion with your young children and say, look, this is what is going on. These are the opportunities that are available. Would you like to do this? Take them to open days, give them a very, very wide view of different career paths so that they will pick paths that are interesting. And if they are able to get apprenticeship in it, people ask about tech. And there are lots of tech apprenticeship, accounting apprenticeship, engineering apprenticeship, even like British Airways. There was a lady that DM'd me one time, and she was asking if there's apprenticeship for pilots. And I checked and I saw that there are some companies like travel companies like Toyyib that do like travel. I think BA as well. They have like technician apprenticeship, which you can get into. And then after getting into that, you can gradually get to a place where you can become, let's say, a pilot. So those are the kind of work that we want to do. Those are the kind of groundwork we want to do for them, and then open up those opportunities to them, and then they'll be able to find a good career for themselves, end well, and live, amazingly. That's what the goal is. So that is just a quick summary of apprenticeship, and I want us to get on board. Information is power, knowledge is power, but what use is knowledge if we don't put it into action? So thank you for bringing me to talk about this, and I hope our people are able to benefit from it.
Two quick questions that I want to ask you before we end this video. Say number one, we've got friends, okay? We've got people who are in, Cyprus, in Turkey, and they want to move to the United Kingdom. They are stuck, but they don't have degree. They went to these countries to hustle, and they just have skills that we've been mentioning. How do you think they'll be able to move to the United Kingdom?
This pathway is actually for young teenagers that are already in the UK. And like I said, there are some residency requirements. Even before, when you are applying for the positions, they will say you must have lived here for 3 years. So it wouldn't work for people that are outside presently. But what would work is that whether we like it or not, there is still going to be rooms for skilled people here in the UK. I've been working in construction for over a decade, and I'm telling you, there is so much shortage that people are not retiring because there is really no one available to fill the space. So what you can do if you are outside is to, first of all, find what the employers are looking for. I always say that. And if you are a tradesperson, let's say you are a carpenter, you are an electrician, you are a plumber, you must have something that is equivalent to what employers are looking for in the UK. And what are employers looking for in a tradesperson? Let's say you're a bricklayer, you're a plumber, it's MVQ level 3. So if you have an MVQ and you have experience, you are more suitable to an employer. And some of the MVQs are like city and guilds. I have one of our brothers that came here a few months ago as an electrician. What he had was city and guilds MVQ level 3, because the recognition might not be there for your certificates that you have. So you have to be holding a certificate that is like the employers recognize. And
Yeah.
City and Guilds is one of those good ones. If you can lay your hands on City and Guilds and get as much experience as possible. And also just go and look for those electrician jobs, go and look for those plumbing jobs, and try and read through what the employers are looking for. Sometimes in the electrician, for example, there is one book that they used to read, I think it's level 8 or something, electrical installations and testing. Once you know that book inside out and you have MVQ, it is easier when you get to an interview to be able to ace it. And that is the thing, we must not try and do the shortcut of it. We must be very, very drilled and understanding the job descriptions that the employer wants and the equivalent qualifications that we need to have.
You're a life coach and you've helped a lot of people move to the United Kingdom. What's the best way to reach out to you? How can people get across to you to ask questions and all that stuff?
That's a big one. So what I try to do is that all my social media accounts is just my name at TA Adelodun. You can, that's my handle on Twitter or YouTube, everywhere. And what I try to do regular sessions. I reply DMs as well, but I get a lot of it. So sometimes I try to do live Q&A sessions where you can phone in, and just ask me the question and I'll be able to answer you straightforward. I'm trying to get it more regular now because the questions are coming in from all angles. And what we want to do is to try and just the same work you are doing, doctor, just try and give as much information as possible to a lot, because we are in the information age, as you know. And this has helped us to be able to see some information that were not accessible to us, accessible to our parents. So this is the best time to be alive. So if you stay around Waka Waka Doctor's page, if you stay around my page and all other good people, you will see information coming out for free. I see you travel sometimes and then you bump into people that use your information to get abroad. I'm thinking that is just the beauty of the internet. You don't need to know me. I don't need to know you. But there are lots of things, like there are lots of recordings on my YouTube channel. There are lots of recordings on Twitter space that we've done. So I'll continue to put those information out there, but try and reach out and keep an eye out for those sessions where we do live Q&A, and I'll take them as well.
It's been a massive, huge pleasure having you talk to my community. I can't say anything else but thank you very much. And to everyone who's watched this video, I hope that it's been able to help you in one shape, form, in one way, and you will take advantage of it. It's been a pleasure. Make sure you watch out for my next video. It's your one and only Waka Waka Doctor, and I'm signing out.